One question that's always on my mind, and I'm not sure if it's on anyone else's mind, but how do we separate business branding from a personal brand? And where does it sort of cross over? How can people start thinking about that? Because generally when people think to market, it's generally around their business brand. This shifts the chasm really. It's taking it to a different level about the person being the front and center. So how do you manage both, or where do you see that sort of going in terms of businesses moving forward?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Andrew. So it is really important to really think separately about where you are in the business ecosystem and the business. So when I manage clients, I tend to manage their business LinkedIn brand and their personal brand. And so I think about it a lot because I think I would always lead, for instance, with the personal thought leaders, what they've said, and then I would react with a content piece about what they did or what they said or the video that they did, and do it in a third person. It would be more sort of personality, I think, comes out in the thought leaders brand positioning, because it's about them. Whereas you've got to think separately about what that brand's identity is. It's a different in terms of, I suppose, characteristic and personality. And so one of my clients, for instance, has a brand that it's a frozen yogurt, and it's a very fun brand, and you can have a bit of fun with the LinkedIn brand. And then the person who owns it's a female entrepreneur and called Cass Spies, and the brand is actually Twisted Healthy Treats. And so Twisted is fun, it's all about, so you can have fun with both of them. But Cass is obviously a very senior woman in business, and it's very much her voice that comes through when she tells the stories about how she's grown that business. So yeah, I think you do need to do quite a bit of work on how it is differentiated, but it should definitely be differentiated.